Hello, thank you for joining me today on this episode of Chalk and Chaos Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean Marciano, and today I'm going to talk about a couple future markets that I'm looking into. But first, I'll talk about my those recent golf bets that didn't go very well. The South African Open went fairly well if you just bet the big guns plus 110. That one hit. Thank you to, what's his name? Charlie something? I don't remember off too much. I get to watch too much. But the Cognizant Classic did not go our way. Ended up betting live Shane Lowry too on Sunday, and he choked, to say the least. Two double bogeys in a row to lose after being up two strokes to down four. So that one pretty hurt yesterday. Yesterday was another good day for betting purposes, which is unfortunate. But we're going to get right into it here with some NBA futures I'm looking into. I recently bet Celtics to win the East at 3-1 on DraftKings. I think that's a pretty good bet. I think the other favorite is Cleveland, who is just a little bit shorter than 3-1. The East is weak. Let's just put it that way. I don't trust James Harden to ever lead a team to the finals. He's not that kind of guy. He's a good player in the regular season, but never in the playoffs. And even at that, that's kind of if you take at his age. So I'll fade the East. Jason Tatum is supposed to return by Friday, it looks to be. So I think this is a good time to start betting a bunch of Celtics. I don't believe in the Pistons. I don't believe in the Knicks. And maybe the only other one I would look into is possibly the Milwaukee Bucks to make playoffs too. It's a 10-1 price. I think Giannis is coming back, so you never know. One of the best players in the NBA for a reason, so that's certainly interesting look. Maybe play-in is possible too for him. So let's look towards that. Another one I noticed too for the NBA futures I like is I noticed that Cooper Flag's plus 140. I know he's injured still, and I think he'll be back soon. As I can see, he's getting closer. And Cooper Flag, I don't believe that he has lost too much goodwill for losing as much time as he has. So maybe it's a good time to fade the old Kudepel that's on the Charlotte Hornets. He's been good, though. Don't get me wrong. I think he's been killing it, but that's nothing. It's Cooper Flag. It's worthy, with the certain amount of games remaining in the season in the old NBA. Nothing that I pay attention to much more than that. Those are two or three bets that I'm looking into currently. Going to be betting soon. Nothing too strong or belief. Probably Thunder plus 140. They kind of have a hard task in the West, though. That's the only problem. You have the Nuggets, you have the Spurs, and then you kind of have the Timberwolves. It's kind of lurking in there, so I think it's kind of I don't know if I really want to bet the Thunder to win, but it's not a bad bet, don't get me wrong. But hopefully those other teams go to war and not the Spurs, the Thunder get the easy draw into the finals, basically. But I think Celtics plus 300 to win the Eastern Conference is a great bet. Probably should be a lot lower, especially with Tatum coming back. And then you have, Jaylen Brown playing probably some of the best ball he's ever played. You got Vucevic, who's a good piece for them. Kind of opens the floor more. And, I don't like talking too much NBA. That's very limited on the sort of bets I'll be making in that. But did really want to talk about the World Baseball Classic, and a couple of bets for that I have. The USA minus 115 is a pretty fair amount, fair price-ish, sort of. I think it's pretty high for them. But, is in the USA, and they have some of the best players in the world, of course. But my favorite bet on the board is Dominican Republic to win the World Baseball Classic at plus 460. I am very much in on the Dominicans here. I like their team. I think they're gonna give USA a challenge, that's for sure. I think, of course, Japan has Shohei Ohtani and a couple other good players. But the Dominicans, they're gonna have some pretty good representation down there in Miami. It's not too far from the DR itself, but they're gonna show up. They're gonna play every game. They're gonna play hard for their country. They do. They have a lot of pride in their country, and I know the United States pitchers, or some of them aren't going to be perhaps pitching in the whole tournament. It seems like so. I really like the Dominicans here at plus 460. I think that's a really good bet on the board. I don't. I think that should be a little bit shorter. I think they give them like a 25% chance to win that. A lot more than the Japanese per se. I don't think the obviously Japan's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I like what they have on DR, and I'm gonna attack that through the MVP market as well. I think two players you can take is Vlad Guerrero Jr. at 22 to 1, and Juan Soto at 27 to 1. I don't some of the best hitters in the world, and I definitely don't want to. I don't want to say that the top isn't right with Judge and Otani. I think if you think the Japanese win, I think of course it's Otani easily. 11 to 1 is a good bet too, but I don't really think USA is just Judge. So I think that's a pretty good attack if you think somebody else in the United States could win it if they win it. But I'm gonna go with these two Dominicans to get the job done down there in Miami. It'll be kind of exciting to watch. Not necessarily something I'm too interested in per se to watch either. Just some markets I like to bet into a little bit is futures, of course, as anyone may know about me. But that's going to be some low stakings. Nothing too strong in those markets. But for some more baseball futures, I was looking into some division winners. It's kind of early. It's almost a month away now. But I kind of like the Orioles at plus 450 to win the division. I think that's a fun price to lay on them. I think they're a good. They'll be a good candidate to bounce back this season. Of course, the Blue Jays made it to the World Series and almost won it. Actually, 2 feet almost there. So they're. I'm not in love with New York ever. I like to fade them. I don't think they were that great last year, but I think the Orioles are a good price to back in the division for a long shot. Let's see, as I look down the market, I don't see any other bets I like too much for the divisions. I think they're all kind of correctly priced. Perhaps maybe some Pittsburgh Pirates at 7 to 1 for a long shot. Don't bother betting the NL West. But for win totals, there were a couple I liked. I'll definitely like not these X wins. I want the or under totals. What was it? I think the Diamondbacks over 79.5 is a good bet. That'll be another one I'll be looking into. I don't think they're as bad as the number shows. There was one more I really liked. Oh, I like the Twins under 72.5. That's a good one. I think they can be really disastrously bad. Not the Rangers. Pirates over 78.5, minus 104. Here's another one I like. I think a lot of these totals are pretty accurate. There was a couple I liked. I kind of forget them. Passing time. Yeah, but I'll take the Orioles over 285.5. There's a couple ones I like as well. I think they can bounce back here to make this playoffs. I think there's always a lot more. What's it called? Chaos almost, if you were in the MLB. I always feel like just because one team was good one year doesn't mean it carries over to the next. It's very all over the place. Orioles minus 110 to make playoffs is a good price, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably take some Athletics and Pirates to make playoffs at plus 420 and plus 260, respectively, for each of them. I think those are some pretty good long shots to take. The A's will be a little bit of a sneaky team. That was the team I was trying to look up for their win total. I couldn't get it. Terrible prep by me. But I think over 75.5 wins at minus 110 is a good bet. I think they're gonna be just take another step this year forward from being in the basement basically in the last 4 to 5 years that I've semi watched. Yeah, but those are some markets I'm diving into. Nothing too strong on the takes. Gonna be interested in the old World Baseball Classic coming up here in a minute, a couple days actually. I really like the Dominicans. That's one thing I like for sure is Guerrero, and because he's a proven playoff performer clearly, so you can take him at minus 155 to win the grouping as well. I'm not too in love with the juicy price because Venezuela could always steal one, of course. I think that's the only threat they really have in the pool. Uh, But outside that, that's kind of a crappy pool for them. USA, don't even bother betting against them, or Japan really. I think Pool A is the one you kind of want to bet into. They take some Colombia or Cuba at those long prices. I don't really. Nah, maybe Canada. Canada has some players too, good pitcher. A couple good pitchers I know. So. But Puerto Rico makes sense to be in the favorite, but it's a short favorite. You can bet some exacta markets. Nothing too strong for me in there, opinion wise. Just gonna be looking at the Dominicans here at plus 450. You can always take the DR winner without USA at plus 220. I think that's a good one too. So it's kind of like a runner up versus um, United States. But yeah, just some of the lesser sports that I really bet here. Gonna end it here. For baseball, I think it's just gonna be a Scotty week for me. Just gonna preview that slightly. Don't really. I feel like is him getting that week off is going to be kind of pitiful for the Arnold Palmer Classics. I think I'm gonna be doing some Scotty Scheffler parlays this week. I'm gonna be backing him at 3-1. I don't know like anyone else. I'm never betting on. Let me tell you something. I am never betting on fucking Shane Lowry ever again. Fuck that guy and fuck Hideki Matsuyama. See you guys.